Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. How are you doing today? Hope you had a blissful weekend. You're welcome to today's live stream. If you have any question, if there's any play you want me to analyze, please drop it in the comment section. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear, and you can also see my screen clearly. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Okay. Have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Today is on 9th of June. 9th of June, and I want us to look at the fundamentals. I don't think there are any major news today. There are no major news today. Okay, there are no major news today. Also tomorrow, there are no major news. So there is a high probability your technical outlook would play out. There is a high probability the technical outlook would play out. Okay. So just look out for your setup before you take any trade. Okay. And when there are no major news, oftentimes the volatility is very low. When there are no major news, volatility is very low. Okay. But as you can see this morning, some pairs have been volatile since the market opened. Some pairs have been volatile, and I think maybe in New York session we'll see more volatility. Okay. So if you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. So let's go to the chart. Start by looking at dollar index. Let's look at dollar index. Good morning, Mr. Raphael. How are you doing? Okay, so if there's any question you want me to analyze, please let me know. Let me know. Okay, any pair you want me to analyze, let me know. Okay, so let's start by looking at dollar index. Okay, US dollar. So as you can see, since the market opened, dollar index has been bearish. Dollar index has been bearish since the market opened. Okay, so let's start with the daily time frame. So last week candle closed strongly bullish. That's last Friday. Last Friday candle closed strongly bullish, and we had this is an hammer candle. Then we have a bullish candle that engulfed that closed above the next bullish candlestick closed above the high. Okay, so you can see the next candlestick closed above the high of the hammer candle. So what we have here is an engulfing pattern indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. Now let's go down to 4-hour. Now on 4-hour, you can see we had a tiny fair value gap here on 4-hour, which could be the reason for the retracement. That could be the reason for the retracement, but price is currently trading below that fair value gap. You can see this fair value gap. Price is trading below that fair value gap. Let's see what's happening on 1-hour time frame. We have a fair value gap on 1-hour time frame that it wants to fill. Okay, we still have a fair value gap here on 1-hour time frame. Okay, we have a fair value gap here. So for today's market, I'm looking for buy. I'm looking for opportunity to buy the dollar. Okay, today I'm looking for opportunity to buy the dollar. Though my long-term bias for dollar is still bearish, I'm looking for opportunity to buy the dollar today, and I'll be considering buying the dollar above this zone or this fair value gap. Okay, these are the areas I will be considering buying the dollar today. Okay, if a bullish reversal pattern forms after this fair value gap gets filled, as you can see, it has been filled. If price pulls back and closes above this fair value gap, I will look for buys on the dollar. I will be buying the dollar. And if it comes down here to fill this fair value gap, I'll look for buy from this area. Though we still have another one here, we still have this fair value gap on 1 hour time frame. You can see this fair value gap. Okay, so I'm looking for buy on the dollar today. It means I'll be looking for sales on GU, AU, NU, and EU. Okay, looking for buys, sells on those pairs today. If you have any pair you want me to analyze, please let me know in the comment section. If there's any pair you're planning to trade today and you want to get my opinion on that pair, drop it in the comment section. Okay, so that's my take on the dollar. I'm looking for buys on the dollar today. My bias for the dollar is bullish. Okay, let's look at yen baskets. Okay, yen baskets. I think since the market opened, this is 4 hour time frame. Since the market opened, yen has been buying. It's been bullish. Yen has been bullish. Okay, it's been bullish. I'm looking for sells. I expect yen to be bearish based on what we have on the daily time frame and also the weekly time frame. I think the yen is bearish. You can see last week candle closed strongly bearish, broke out from this support. Okay, and you can see the reason for the retracement, the current retracement. You can see this support. That is the reason for this rejection. This rejection we are seeing in the market now. This support is the reason for that rejection. And I think price just wants to pull back to, you can see this resistance that was broken. Probably price just wants to pull back to, this is a break and retest. Okay. Price just want to pull back to retest this resistance stone, sorry, support stone resistance. Okay. So wait for price to pull back to this level before going bearish on the yen. Okay, my bias for yen today is bearish. We need to wait for the right setup and the right time before executing a trade on yen. Okay, so that is what I see playing out. Okay, so we still have this on, this is 4 hour time frame. So after price fills this fair value gap, I want to see the candlestick pattern that will form. You can see price has already tested that fair value gap. So I want to see the pattern that will form. You can see this fair value gap on 1 hour. Okay. I want to see the pattern that will form. If a bearish reversal pattern form after this fair value gap gets filled, I'll be looking for sells on yen. I'll be looking to sell the yen. Okay, so you can see here on 15 minutes, you can see here there are indications that the bears are showing up in the market. You can see we had this doji candle bearish pattern. These are bearish reversal pattern. We had a fair value gap here on 15 minutes, and market has filled that price. That's on fair value gap. So it's likely yen will start selling from this zone. But I'd like to see 1 hour and 4 hour candle close strongly bearish before taking a sell on yen. I hope that is clear. I'd like to see 4 hour candle close bearish before going bearish on yen basket. I hope that is clear. So that's my take on yen. Okay, so let's look at currency pairs. Please, if you're yet to give the video a thumbs up, please do that. And if it's your first time joining the live stream, please subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. Okay, so let's go to the chart MT4. Okay, let's see currency pairs. Let's start with GBP USD. GBP USD, I'm looking to sell GBP USD. Okay, I'm looking to sell GBP USD. So you can see GBP USD, I think, just filled this fair value gap on, let's go to 1 hour. Okay, so we had this fair value gap on 1 hour time frame, which it has filled. Okay, it filled this fair value gap, and also I think it came to test this resistance. And this resistance you see here, I think there's a fair value gap that was created after the formation of this. Okay, as you can even see here, we have this fair value gap also on 1 hour time frame. So I think this is the reason for the retracement. Okay, so if the current 1 hour candle, as you can see this current 1 hour candle is likely going to close as a bearish reversal pattern. This could close as a shooting star or a doji. or a spinning top. Once it closes as a shooting star or a doji or a spinning top, I would be selling GBP USD, and this will be my target. Okay, I will be selling GBP USD. If it closed, let's assume it has closed. I sell from this point. Let's say I sell from this point. My stop loss, I could just set my stop loss, maybe using 15 or 20 pips as my stop loss. Then I'll go for 35 pips. That's like 1:2 risk reward. So that's my take on GBP USD. I'll be looking for sales on GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD sell. Okay, that's my take on GBP USD. Euro USD. Let's see what we have on Euro USD also. So you can see Euro USD has this fair value gap that I think it wants to fill. You can see this fair value gap. I think that's where Euro USD is going to retrace from. Okay, if you apply your Fibonacci from this swing high to this swing low, I think that fair value gap is at a premium area, right? Above level 50. This fair value gap is above level 50. So I want to see EU fill this fair value gap before going bearish. Okay, so if you take a sell from this point, if I take a sell from this point, let's say from this point, my stop loss, the risk on EU seems to be very high compared to GU. So I would rather go for GU trade than EU. So I'm looking for sales on on GU rather than taking this much risk on GBP on Euro USD. The risk here is about 50 something pips, and I don't want to risk more than 30, 40 pips on any trade. So I'd rather go for Euro USD. Okay, so that's my take on Euro USD. Wait for a bearish reversal pattern to form after this fair value gap gets filled. Okay, before you sell Euro USD. I hope that is clear. USD, Australian dollar USD also should be bearish. Okay, Australian dollar USD also should be bearish. Let's see. After the formation of this pattern, this shooting star, let's see if a fair value gap was created on a lower time frame, which could be the reason for the retracement. So this is what we have on 1 hour. Let's go down to 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, what do we have here? Let's see if a fair value gap was created there. So you can see the fair value gap that was created here on 15 minutes time frame, that could be the reason for the retracement. And I think that gap has been filled. I think that gap has been filled. You can see that gap has been filled. So we should be looking for sales from this zone. If 15 minutes candle closes below this zone or 1 hour candle closes below this level, then you should be considering selling. That's my take. Sell. Okay, that's my take on Australian dollar USD. Look for sales. Okay, but I think I would rather go for GBP USD. That's the pair I'll be trading today. GBP USD and maybe GBP USD and maybe USD CAD. Let's see. Australian dollar USD is sell. Wait for 1 hour candle to close below this level before you sell. That is what I see playing out on Australian dollar USD. Okay, on Australian dollar USD, we have this low here. Okay, we have this low. Okay. Okay. Then we have this low. Then we have this low. Okay. So I think Australian dollar USD is set for sell. Okay. Yeah, I think Australian dollar USD is set for sale. Australian dollar USD is set for sale. GU, or rather, let me see GU. Wait for 1 hour candle to close before taking a sell on GU. Okay. Then which other pair? Which other pair do you want me to analyze? Euro Australian dollar. Okay. Euro Australian dollar. So Raphael, yeah, I'm looking for sales on GU. I'm looking for sales on GU. Okay. Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar. To look for buys on Euro Australian dollar. Okay, look for buys on Euro Australian dollar. They almost hit my stop loss on this trade. Okay, look for buys. Okay, look for buys on Euro Australian dollar. Patiently wait. You can see what played out this morning. They came to clear the liquidity. That's the reason I set my stop loss below, far below this low, because a lot of retailers would have entered buy and their stop losses will be residing at this low. That's the reason I set my stop loss. So you can see they almost hit my SL. You can see they almost hit my SL before this retracement. So if the current 1 hour candle closes above the high of this candle, then you could look for buys. Or let's go down to lower time frame. There should be a shifting market structure on 15 minutes or 5 minutes before you consider taking the trade. So this is what we have on 15 minutes. Let's go down to 5 minutes. Let's see 5 minutes. Okay, so shifting market structure on 5 minutes would occur at this point. So if 1 hour candle closes above this level, you could consider buying Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar is buy. It is buy. Euro Australian dollar is what? Buy. It is buy. Is that clear? That's my take. Euro Australian dollar is buy. Look for buys on Euro Australian dollar. Okay. That's my take on Euro Aussie. Okay. The worst thing that would happen on Euro Aussie is price pulling back to this fair value gap it's created here. And from this point to pull back. So you could either wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap. Okay. Shifting market structure has occurred here. So you might want to wait for price to pull back to that area before you buy. You could also buy from this point. Let's see the risk. If you buy from this point, your stop loss is just about 30 pip, 30 pip risk, which I think is okay. You can set your stop loss just 50 pips below this level. That's it for Euro Australian dollar. Look for buys on Euro Australian dollar. Okay. So Mr. Raphael, USD JPY. Let's see what we have on USD JPY. USD JPY should be buy. Okay. So what do I see on USD JPY? So here we had this fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame, which could be the reason for the retracement. You can see price is inside that fair value gap. So if the current you could buy USD. Buy USD JPY. Can you all see my screen? Can you all still hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please, I'd like to know if you guys can hear me. Please confirm you can hear me. Okay, so on gold, I think gold is still bearish. Okay, okay, but if you want to sell gold, I would advise you wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap. This would be a good entry on gold, a good sell entry on gold. Wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap before you sell gold. That would be a good time and price to buy to sell gold. Okay, that would be a good time and price to sell gold. Okay, if you can patiently wait for price to pull back to this area, okay, then you can go bearish on gold. So for today, my bias on gold is sell. Okay, my bias on gold is sell, but I'd like to see price retrace to this area. This is a support, right? Strong resistance. You can see support, 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 also support. So there's a high probability that price will want to come and retest this broken support, some resistance. Okay, that is what I see playing out. And if you insist on selling from the current market price, the question is, are you willing to take the risk? Your stop loss has to be above this level. If you decide to sell from the current market price, you can see what we have here also on 1 hour time frame. We had a doji, the next candle still closed bearish. This is a bearish reversal pattern. Okay, but this is at a discount area. Discount area. I would love to see price pull back to premium area. If you apply your Fibonacci from this swing high to this swing low, this will be premium, right? So it's best to sell from premium than selling at discount. If you are selling from the discount, the risk will be high. Okay, so it's best to wait for price to pull back to premium before you sell. Okay, I see this as a trap for retail traders. Most retail traders will jump in and start selling from this point, and their stop losses will be at this level. There's a high probability they will go clear all the stop losses reciting at this high. And also at this point, also we have stop losses here. You can see this fair value gap. So I would advise to wait if you want to sell gold, wait for price to pull back to this zone before you sell gold. Okay, that's my take on gold. Okay. Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, let's just look at GBP before we end the session. Okay. Interested in that. Okay. So let's start with the daily time frame. So far today, GJ has been selling. GJ has been selling. So I think GJ just want to come fill this fair value gap on 4 hour. Okay, so you could look to sell, sorry, buy. Look for buy, okay, from this level, 195.28. If you want to buy GJ, wait for price to fill this gap before you buy GJ. Okay, wait for price to fill this gap. Okay, on 1 hour, we have this fair value gap on 1 hour, which is in confluence with this resistance on support. Okay, this is in confluence with this resistance on support. Okay, so if a bullish reversal pattern forms, let's see what's happening on 15 minutes. Okay, so let's see 5 minutes. There has to be a shift in market structure. So if price closes above this high, the shift in market structure will occur. If a candle closes above this high, then you could look for buys. But let me just see 1 minute. Let's see. Shift in market structure on 1 minute might have occurred at this point. Let's just see. Okay, so on 1 minute, I think the shifting market structure on 1 minute has occurred at this point. After the shift in market structure, price pulled back to the discount area, probably to fill a fair value gap it's created here. Okay, so you could either buy above this level or you buy from the current market price, set your stop loss several pips below this level. Set your stop loss several pips below this level, maybe at least 15 pips below that level. If you are considering buying GJ, you should set your stop loss several pips below this level. So that's my take on GJ. Okay, look for buys on GJ, and if you are buying GJ, your TP should be this high. Okay, so you buy from this point, that's about 64 pips, and you could just use 30 pips. Your stop loss, you can just set your stop loss at this point. So you risk 30 pips, you go for 60 pips. That's a good risk reward. So that's my take on GJ. Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. Any question, any question, any question? If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. See you as CHF. Buyers on USD CHF is buy. Look for buy. On USD CHF. Look for buys on USD CHF. You can see the previous 1 hour candle closed as hammer, a bullish hammer. Then 15 minutes. 15 minutes, we had this is an engulfing pattern on 15 minutes. And I think if we go down to 5 minutes, there's a shift in market structure. 5 minutes. You can see shift in market structure at this point of 5 minutes. Price has pulled back to discount. Okay, to fill, I think there's a fair value gap that was created here. It's had to come back and fill. That has been achieved. So USD CHF could start buying from the current market price. USD CHF could start buying from the current market price. You could patiently wait for 1 hour candle. Okay, patiently wait for 1 hour candle to close above this zone. If you want to buy USD CHF, wait for 1 hour candle to close above this zone before you take a buy on USD CHF. So guys, that will be all for today's session. If there are no questions, I'll give you 2 minutes to ask your questions, or if there's any other pair you want me to analyze, I would like to attend to. If you have any question, let me know. In the next 2 minutes, I will end the session. So if you have any question, just drop it. Or if there's anything you want me to analyze, I'd like to know in the comment section. Any question, any question, any question. If you have any question, let me know. So Samson, you're welcome. You're welcome. Any question? You have any question? Let me know. Let me know if you have any question. Mr. Raphael, thanks for joining. Mr. Ebuka, Mayor, Mr. Samson, appreciate you for your participation. I hope you are getting value from the sessions. Hope you're getting value. All right, guys, it appears there are no questions. No questions. Okay, so that'll be all for today. I wish you all a profitable trading day. Ensure you apply stop loss on all your trade. Apply the appropriate lot size for your account size. Don't trade based on your emotions. Okay, every trade you execute in the market should be strategic. Okay, take risk you're comfortable with. Don't say because this trader is risking $100 on every trade, you also will risk $100. Take risk that you are comfortable with. Okay. All right, guys. Bye for now.